What is up? What is up? Welcome back to Overdose. I'm your host. Today I have a special guest, one-on-one edition. Introduce yourself there, Sirski.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne. Hashtag Reclaim Your Throne on YouTube. Reclaim Your Throne on Instagram, TikTok. We are turning guys into units out here. So that's what I do, fitness training. I also do some real estate investing. I run a car rental business as well. And I'm rocking with the boy Don Jaye over here on the Overdose podcast. So.
Hey, let's get it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with, first of all, I like to start off with, health, wealth, relationships, mindset. So we can start off with mindset. Mm-hmm. Where does your mindset come from when your life, as well as the red pill shit, and how do you got into red pill shit, as well as the fitness and things like that?
Okay, so, the mindset is grind on an everyday basis.
Okay.
I'm in the gym about an hour and a half to 2 hours, 5 days a week. I've got fitness clients. I'm doing real estate deals. I'm doing car rental business. So I always try and stay busy. When it comes to the red vitamin, because I call it red vitamin because we don't take pills, we take vitamins. But
but hold on, real quick before you go to that, take me back a little bit though.
Mm-hmm.
So take me back before you even got started with the different businesses. Where does this mindset come from? It's come from your family. It's come from
So it definitely came from my parents, my dad, especially. Instilled some great values into me, and I grew up with a big family, so I know how to interact with. Not only my siblings, but just like people from different areas. I come from a blended family, so my dad remarried into, with a woman who had 3 other kids.
Damn.
So, she brought her 3, my dad had 3, and we were all in a blended family situation. Mm-hmm. And that really taught me a lot, not only about, just getting along as a sibling and being a good sibling, but it also taught me a lot about women because I grew up with 3 sisters. So I kind of got to see the mistakes that they made, the decisions that they made in choosing men, and I tried to be a guide as much as I could, but sometimes it's like talking to a brick wall, especially when it's your family members. So you can only do what you can do, and I kind of learned the true nature of how a lot of women move and maneuver in the dating scene, at least from my sisters.
And then that going into the red vitamin, as you call it. Mm-hmm. So how did that transition for you to be like a speaker in the red vitamin community?
Okay, so you're right. I just had some personal experiences that brought me to this particular knowledge. I think one of them which was a staple in, I guess, my dating life. I was dating this super bad Latina chick. Mm-hmm. And, everything was going good. I was a nice guy. I was chivalrous and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
And one thing that stood out to me, like I was a guy to, text and say, hey, are you home yet? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what I was taught that women liked, that's 100% what I did.
Got you.
And, safe to say, like, that situation basically just, like, imploded on itself. And I got the question, I'm like, yo, why didn't this work? And that's not, like, the first time that I had, been with a bad chick. But, like, that one really kind of drove it home for me to go and look for maybe some answers outside of myself.
Got you.
So I just started doing some searches, and I'm like, yo, why did she kind of just fall off after 1, 2, 3 dates, whatever?
Even though you felt like you was doing everything right.
The chemistry felt good. Like we kissed on the dates and all that kind of stuff. But there was obviously something to her that stood out, and I think it was me being the nice guy, because then. When I saw the dude that she dealt with after that, and this dude's like from Texas, he's like some rapper or something like that. He was basically like the typical bad boy or whatever they would call a bad boy, a F boy. And, she 100% like flew out to the man, whatever, did and he was really a bum, honestly. But he was like, he had maybe some social media clout and whatnot. Yeah. And he was able to bag her, more power to her. But that really taught me that, hey, maybe girls don't really like nice guys like that. Maybe I was too nice. Maybe I was too giving. Maybe I was too generous. And I think that a lot of guys come to this realization, especially when dealing with their female friends, because they see like guys who friend zone themselves, they see that the woman is dealing with this certain type of guy and complaining to him about it, but he's obviously he's obviously the most eligible bachelor in a sense of somebody treating her well, but she still denies him, to be with the bad boy.
Yeah,
See, a lot of times the women will say, oh, well, I want my partner to just be my best friend. But you've got all these male best friends who are already your best friend. So we know that it's something deeper than just him being your best friend.
Yes.
It has to do with his looks, his attractiveness, maybe his swag, the way that he approached you, the way that you see him. You may see him more as a non-sexual component to your life.
Okay.
So there's different factors that go into it. But at the end of the day, women are not ever going to be straight up with you about what they want in a guy.
Okay. And then when it comes to that situation that you just went through, did that change and mold your mindset about this whole women, they more so not telling you exactly what they're attracted to, they just tell you what they like, and it kind of gave you that rabbit hole of the red vitamin?
Yeah,
or
not
what?
for sure. Because, they're telling... It's so funny because the girl that I was talking about, like, she's posting on her story, on her Snapchat story, oh, I want a guy who checks up on me. Oh, I want a guy who does this. Oh, I want a guy who's, nice but gentle and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was basically, how like a bitch will post something on her story to get a message out to a specific guy.
Yeah.
But she'll post it on her story. Like, we were kind of doing... subtweeting. Exactly. Yeah. We were kind of doing that back and forth. And I was really seeing that everything that she was saying that she wanted did not align to what she actually wanted.
Actions of what? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And then when it comes to like the health and the fitness as well as the wealth, which is having the different businesses, where's the mindset of striving for those come from as well?
So that mindset just comes from financial literacy. I graduated from the University of Georgia. From the business school, Terry College.
Okay.
So I pretty much studied business, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I always wanted to, be my own boss.
Okay.
So that's kind of where that drive comes from, to make money and create wealth for myself in order to pass down to my future generation.
Do you think that that's an important thing for all men, or just for a select, or what do you think?
I think it's important for all men. I think that every man probably wishes that he was able to do that, but in reality, most men die and never are able to pass down anything to their family. Yeah. And I don't want to be one of those guys who has nothing to show for it when I go into the grave. I don't want to be one of those guys who, I pass away and then my family is, posting a GoFundMe in order to get funeral expenses. Like, I want everything to be planned. I want everything to be covered. Having a will, having estate planning, having, a delegation, trust, exactly, a delegation of your assets once you pass away is extremely important. And I think that kind of lines up with the red vitamin in that, you have to understand that, hey, if you choose the wrong woman, your lineage is not going to inherit the wealth that you built for yourself when you were on this earth.
Okay, and now let's get to the wealth. When it comes to wealth, let's say you had to start from zero again. What would you do?
If I had to start from zero again, I would have foregone college. I wouldn't have went to college, and I would have just went 100%.
Why is that though?
Because I think a lot of people use college for I would say a limbo period or a purgatory period in your life to kind of figure out what you really want to do. And if I had to go back and redo it, I would have hopped straight into real estate, and I would have hopped straight into entrepreneurship out of college, because you can pretty much invest in real estate. If you're savvy enough, if you're a savvy enough investor, you can invest without having to put any of your money up. So I think that I would have avoided. And I loved my college experience. I played college football and all that kind of stuff, but I would have avoided some delays in my life and my progression. But I will say that because I played sports in college, it allowed me to have the discipline in order to enact my goals. So, that's probably how I would describe it.
Okay, for you personally, do you prioritize your wealth or you prioritize your health?
So I always prioritize my health first.
Okay.
But in order to be healthy, in a lot of cases, you got to be wealthy. All right. So in order to eat organic, you got to have that bread. In order to go to Whole Foods, you got to have that bread. You got to have that bag to spend money on food. As you guys know, inflation is going up. The cost of living is going up.
Like
eggs,
crazy.
Eggs are damn near $20 for a dozen.
Facts.
Bacon is up to like $5.50, $6 a pound. So everything is getting more expensive. So in order to eat healthy, a lot of times you do need finances.
Okay, now jumping into the health for just a quick second. When it comes to that, what would you say to a guy that's, I guess, a little bit overweight and trying to lose weight? How would he start, or how would he start to lose weight?
So if you're overweight and you're trying to lose weight, step number one, okay, acknowledgement is the first sign. So acknowledge that you are a fat ass and you need to get off of your ass and put in some work.
Yeah.
Second step, you need to find me and get the Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course in order to get in the best physical shape that you possibly can. Okay, so step one, acknowledgement. Step two, action.
Okay. All right. Now let's move into relationships. Then we got to dive deep into each of those. So relationships. Do you feel that if you chase your wealth and your health, your relationships suffer, or how do you balance relationship with your health and your wealth?
So balancing relationship is pretty much the easy part. Okay, when you have your health and your wealth in order, the women come. Okay, and they're willing to wait till you get off of work. They're willing to wait until you finish whatever project you got going on. As long as they're being provided for, and you're hot enough, that's really all that matters. So I would just say, as far as relationships go, if you do have the red vitamin knowledge, and you have your wealth and health in order, it's a cakewalk.
Okay, so let's go back for a little bit. So for you personally, you would rather have your health and wealth in order before you get into a relationship, or are you trying to do it at the same time?
So I do advocate for men to get experience. That's where the sexual access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. So I do it.
And you don't have to break that down after this.
Yeah. So I do advise that a man have experience.
Okay.
In many regards.
Even if they're trying to get like a marriage and settle down type shit, they should still have experience?
Yeah, even if they want to settle down and get married, they should have experience because they need to know how women operate so that their wife doesn't finesse them, so that their girlfriend don't finesse them, so that the women that they plan on being with long term is not able to get a one-up on them, okay? There was some report that came out where Babyface, like an old R&B singer, is paying $40K a month in child support and alimony, and it's just like, dude, like it's crazy. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym, and he got married to that girl like less than a decade ago. So you really have to understand how to protect what you have built for yourself. And when you lose your wealth, it can also affect your health. Look at Dr. Dre when he was going through his divorce, he had a brain aneurysm. Why? Because he knew that he was going to lose a lot of his wealth. So your wealth and your health are almost synonymous in the fact that once you do have wealth and you are healthy, if you lose that wealth, it can affect your health.
Gotcha.
And it can increase stress levels and increase your cholesterol, and now you're moving different because you're thinking about this one thing and you're stressed out about this one thing, and now it's affecting every aspect of your life.
Okay. And now you said something interesting. You said having, what is it? Say the phrase one more
Sexual
time.
access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health.
Break that down for me.
Okay. So for one, sexual access, as we all know in this community, that about 1/3 of men are sexless or haven't had intercourse within the past year. Okay, so they're either virgins or they haven't had intercourse within the past year.
Okay.
This piece right here really affects a man's mental health. And a lot of guys who are virgins, you see them crashing out. You see them, the incel shooters, incel school shooters, incel this, incel that. So there's a community and there's a label for these guys who are not able to get intercourse. And that just shows that intercoursal access is essential to a man's mental health, because without it, these dudes are snapping and going into elementary schools and airing out.
So you said, basically you would advise guys to have experience. You would advise the guys to get in the gym. You advise the guys to get their wealth on track and get in the gym and have experience.
Yeah, so I would advise you guys, for one, get your health in order, okay? Because your health, no matter over anything, looks is one of the most important things. You know, people have the debate looks, money, status.
Yeah.
Looks is, in
And
my
game.
opinion, in game, right? Looks is the most important thing because you can be broke and get a chick if you look good. You can be you can have no game, and if you look good, you'll still be able to get a woman. So I definitely say that, hey, you need to focus on your fitness and your health, and then everything else is going to fall into place because those qualities and those traits that you build from being disciplined and working on your body and improving your health translate into other aspects of life.
Okay, now let's go in depth on these 4 different things. So when it comes to mindset, what is something that you had to unlearn, I guess, recently? So let's say for the past 3 years. And something that you learned. So something that you learned that changed things for you mentally, and something that you had to unlearn that changed things for you mentally.
So something that I learned is, especially in business, you have to move with integrity. You have to, whatever you say that you're going to do, you have to 100% follow through with it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, whether it be contractually or whether it be like a verbal agreement or a handshake, whatever. If you make an agreement with somebody, you need to be able to follow through with that 100%. So just being a man of your word is definitely something that I learned. And then you said
unlearn.
Okay,
so maybe something that you thought you knew that you was like, damn, actually it was wrong that I knew that or thought that way, etc. Or if there's anything, shit.
You know, I wouldn't say that there's anything that I necessarily had to unlearn. You know, maybe just fixing certain habits as far as like being consistent in business aspects. Like for instance, I run a real estate business and we do we do weekly meetings Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. And I'm the boss, so I determine if the meeting goes down or not. And sometimes in 2022 I would be sleepy, I'd be tired, I had a long night, and I'm like, hey, no team meeting this morning, boom, boom, bap. And I had to hold myself accountable for that and really look at, okay, is my production at the highest when I have team meetings or is my production at the highest when I don't? And I realized that my production is the highest when I have team meetings and I'm able to meet with my employees 3 times a month or 3 times a week and then hold them accountable, because if I'm not holding myself accountable and not following through with what I said I'm going to do, then I can't do the same to them. So, in my own business, I had to realize that, hey, if you say that, we got meetings Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then you need to hold that standard. If you say that, hey, we need these agents to be getting, individually like 4 leads a week, then you need to hold them to that standard. If you say, hey, we need 1 contract signed a month, then or 1 contract signed a week, then you need to hold them to that standard. Okay. And then that standard is the standards that you set are based off of the standards that you uphold. Ooh, so I would say, being inconsistent is something that I had to unlearn.
Okay, and then when it comes to accountability, you said something interesting that you had to hold yourself accountable. Do you find yourself having peer members that hold you accountable too, or is it mainly yourself holding yourself accountable for these different things?
So it's mainly me having that introspection, because when you are a business owner, it's lonely at the top. There's nobody who can relate to your struggle. When you're an entrepreneur and you actually have a real business, I'm not talking about OnlyFans, okay? I'm talking about a real business that people actually respect, okay? Yeah. When you have a business that people respect and you're trying to get your Google reviews up, you're trying to get reviews up on Airbnb, you're trying to get reviews up on Turo, you're trying to get your name out there, you're trying to run ads and whatnot, you have to hold yourself to the utmost standard. And especially when you are a black business owner, that is when you really need to hold yourself to a higher standard, because you don't want to be that guy who falls in line with the stereotypes. Well, black businesses, I want to support black, but they always on some bullshit. They always giving you, they lower quality service, or they always, doing this. You don't want to fall into that stereotype. You don't want to fall into that category. You don't want to fall into that statistic. So you want to be a statistical anomaly and you want to separate yourself. And the way that you do that is holding yourself with high character, high integrity, and respect.
Okay. I noticed you said that you don't necessarily have a people that hold you accountable, but do you believe that it is beneficial for men to have a tribe or people that they network with?
Yeah, so what I would say is my employees hold me accountable. The people that I pay hold me accountable. Because when that $1,500 a week leaves my account, I'm like, damn, we ain't getting no results this week. So that's holding me accountable. Like, when you run a business and it's not just, spread my legs and then film it. You actually have to put money into it. Yeah, I'll take a shot. But like, when you actually have to put, because like it's a lot of chicks out here saying they entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and they just got OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and people don't respect that. Even banks don't respect that. That's why they had that whole issue where they were about to just basically shut down the intercourse work on their platform, because even banks did not respect the way in which that money came through. So like, as a man, when you actually have real employees and you have payroll and you have to pay employees even if you did not make money that month, that holds your behind accountable, because now you're like, shit. Oh, this is real. I just paid $1,500 a week to these agents and I didn't get no results. Yeah. So like, that's when the pressure starts getting on. That's when you're like, okay, what can I do? Now I got to start tracking KPIs, which is key performance indicators. Now I got to start making spreadsheets and breaking down exactly my productivity. Now I got to, get into the real data and analyze, hey, why am I not successful in what I'm doing, even though I'm putting money into it? So when you're really putting money into, most businesses work where it's pay to play. You spend money to make money. So when you're putting money into something and you're not getting money, that's when the accountability really sets in. And then it forces you to adjust. And then once you adjust and you fix that issue, you never go back to the same mistakes that you were making prior. Okay, cool. So let's just transition right in addition to the wealth part. What are some things that you would advise men to do if they want to start on the same path of being like an entrepreneur? I would say don't start a LLC until you're actually making money. A lot of people make this mistake and, they're going to spend, this, that, and the third on forming an LLC, but they don't have a business that's making money. They just want to say, I'm a business owner on Instagram. Gotcha. So don't ever start a business unless you're actually making money. Once you have that income going, then that's when you start your LLC. Yeah, so that's one of the tips that I would give. That's one of the tips you would give? Okay. Now, when it comes to that world, how does that actually parlay into your day-to-day life? So, I mean, it's my day-to-day. Pretty much, I'm in constant communication with my employees. Gotcha. I'm constantly trying to figure out what I can do to improve our monthly revenue, our annual revenue. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to make my employees' lives easier and holding myself accountable to a schedule or any type of milestone or goal that we set within the company. So it's a day-to-day grind. It's a day-to-day focus. Gotcha. Okay. And then would you advise guys to focus down on one thing, or you wouldn't advise them to just try everything? What would you so I would say, man, and this is something that I don't necessarily do, but I would say focus 100% of your productivity on one thing until you're able to have that thing automated so you don't have to spend as much time on it. Then that's when you branch out to something else. Hey, that's a good word right there. Exactly. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the wealth part, where did this fitness thing that you got come from? Is it come from, I guess, your college when you was doing football? Or and what is the goal of it? You just trying to get people in shape or what? So my fitness journey started, from as a young boy. I always been playing sports. I come from a sports background. My parents played sports. My brother was, an All-American athlete. I was an All-American athlete. My sister was an All-American athlete. So, I always wanted to stay fit. I never wanted to get fat. And, when I got into college, I walked onto the University of Georgia football team, and that really showed me how to be disciplined, how to set a schedule, how much it really takes to be successful. and working with a teamwork, and doing your job, okay, and allowing everything else to fall in place. See, something on the football field that we often heard was, if you just do your job, everything will fall in place. So if every man, if 11 men do their jobs, then there will be no issues, there will be no errors, there will be no breaks in coverages, because I was a defensive back.
Okay.
So, I think that the main thing is that, the fitness aspect came into my personal experience with playing sports and being active all of my life, and then that also helps me with my drive toward business.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the fitness plan thing, what is it designed to do, though? Is it designed to just make you fit? Is it designed to, like, make you, like, a fucking star athlete? What is it, like, designed to do?
So the fitness plan is designed to get you in the best shape of your life, and it's specifically catered toward, younger men who are looking to play a D1 sport.
Okay.
So obviously, like, you can have older people who do the course and be successful, but the intensity level is going to be lower. But the course is pretty much a 30-day module. It's over 2 hours of content that I recorded myself, doing the lifts, showing you the lifts, doing edits of, which body parts that the certain lifts are actually working.
Okay.
So the course is pretty much to get anybody in shape, and it's for all age ranges, but it's specifically catered toward, guys in high school, middle school who are trying to get a scholarship to play D1 sports.
Okay. And then going back a little bit, how do you actually manage your health and your wealth when it comes to, like, working out and running a full-time business? Or you say you have multiple businesses and working out and things of that nature. Yeah.
So scheduling, automation. Okay. I pretty much have my schedule down packed. So I wake up at around 7:30 a.m. I do my prep for my team meetings. Then I do my team meetings at 8 a.m. After that, then I, work on my YouTube channels. I punch out some content for my YouTube channels. And then, boom, by the time it's 10:30, I'm in the gym. From 10:30 to like 12:30, maybe 1 p.m., I'm working out. Then after that,
3 hours.
Then after that, I'm focusing on my businesses. And then that's kind of, so it's basically, discipline, scheduling, and just having that commitment.
Really? Okay. Got you. Damn. Like, pull it back a little bit. Like, where did you actually grow up? Where are you actually from? Things of that nature.
Okay, so I'm from Athens, Georgia, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. I grew up in Athens. Athens. And I played sports all my life. And it was always a dream to go to the University of Georgia. I actually went to Barrow Elementary, which is right next to our training facility. It's right across the street. So, I grew up watching players go in and out of the training facility. I met DJ Shockley, one of Georgia's black quarterback greats back in the day. So he was a guy that I met as a elementary school student, and he's doing, SEC network stuff now. And met AJ Green. He actually went to the same high school my dad went to. Or was it AJ Green or it was Tavares King? No, Tavares King was the one who went to Habersham Central. Okay. But I met a lot of these guys who were football players, and they definitely inspired me.
That's going to be my next question. Then let's go.
Yeah,
keep going.
They definitely inspired me to want to pursue. Because when I was a kid, they used to call me Lil Michael Vick and stuff because I had speed and I had really good ball skills and whatnot. Pause. I was like, wait. Yeah. So, growing up, I always, loved sports. I always loved playing sports, and that kind of is what drove me on my fitness journey. Okay.
So, speaking of now, and like you said, you have people that inspire you. Do you have people that inspire you now?
Yeah. So, I mean...
And in what aspect?
Yeah, so, I mean, just seeing the younger generation of guys in sports going at it, and every year they're just getting better and better. Guys are just getting more athletic, stronger, faster, more agile, and the competition is just increasing. So that inspires me to stay on my grind because I want to be able to, keep up with those guys, and I want to be able to compete with those guys because as a trainer, as a personal trainer, I know we got a lot of personal trainers who can't actually do the workouts that they're advising you to do. But I'm one of those personal trainers who leads by example.
Got you. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can actually do the workouts that I'm telling you to do, and I can do a lot of them with ease. So I really, pride myself on being able to keep up with the athletes that are incoming, 5-star, 4-star athletes, because I train with these guys. I train these guys, and just working on being a better man and being a better physical specimen for your sport.
You be falling right into my next question. My next question is, what is the number one thing that you think is a problem with men today?
So the number one problem with men today, I would say, it's almost a catch-22 because
Okay, talk to me.
there are more than like when women complain about, oh, there aren't enough good guys. That's cap. There are more than enough exceptional guys. There are more than enough good guys. The issue is a lot of guys have fell into the indoctrination, the feminist indoctrination. So a lot of men have become softer, and maybe not in physicality necessarily, but they have become softer in mentality. So they're more likely to acquiesce to things that men traditionally were not acquiescing to, like allowing your girl to post booty pics on social media, allowing your girl to be fast in the pants and whatnot.
And go out. Yes.
Exactly, allowing her to go out and get drunk and then come back at wee hours of the night. Girl trips, all that kind of stuff. Even allowing their woman to cheat, even being cucked. A lot of men are taking back cheating women, and it happens every day. So I think that the main problem with men is that we have been, we've been bludgeoned with the toxic masculinity narrative that your masculinity is toxic and, your Y chromosome is a problem. And I'm here to say that no, absolutely not. You need to stand in your masculinity. You need to stand on what you say and what you do. Yes. And you need to have integrity in those things so that you can stand on it confidently 100%.
Ooh, I agree with that. What do you think is the number one problem with women of today?
So the number one problem with women of today is that they are passing up too many good men. Okay, they're passing up too many good men, and then they're not keeping the feminine qualities that men love them for. They're not keeping that chastity, okay? They're not keeping that femininity. They're not keeping the traditional qualities.
Count?
Oh yeah, I care about body count. Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so they're not keeping those traditional traits that men want in women.
Okay.
And they're passing up way too many good guys. They're not looking for what is right for them. They're looking for what feels right for them. So that is a huge issue in modern day women, and that's why y'all gonna keep getting traumatized. That's why y'all gonna keep getting ran through, and that's why y'all gonna keep getting online when you're 40 years old crying about passport bros, when in all actuality you pass up on a lot of these Malcolms. What I call Malcolms are mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. Or they can be medium ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. A lot of women are passing up on the Malcolms, okay? Those guys who work at the poultry, those guys who got their CDLs, those guys who work at, the harbor, okay? Those guys who work at the Caterpillar plant. A lot of women are overlooking these guys for guys that they see on social media popping, and all they're doing is just racking up bodies and not getting commitment and maybe turning it even into a baby mama. So that's the issue with women nowadays.
Okay. And then just like you said, racking up bodies, what is this body count formula and where did it come from, and then what is the actual formula?
Okay, so the body count formula actually comes from CDC statistics on the average amount of sexual partners a woman has annually. So the average amount, depending on her level of promiscuity, is 3 to 7, okay? And I predict that the average woman has 3 to 7 bodies a year if she is single, okay? So what you do is you take the woman's age, you subtract it by 18, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they started having intercourse at the legal age, okay, which we know most of them did not, all right? But we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and we're saying, hey, her age minus 18, multiply that by 3 to 7 depending on her level of promiscuity. So to find out her level of promiscuity, You basically have to do a full-blown assessment of that woman, her attributes, her mannerisms, the way she moves, the way she walks, the way she talks, and especially her social media. Because like I say on my channel, modern women have the digital footprint of an adult film actress. So a lot of modern women are online showing bare booty, you know, bare breasts and whatnot. And, you know, traditionally, men would not have seen these body parts on women, you know, even 2 decades ago from like your average day woman. You had to leave everything up to imagination and, you know, realization once you actually get in them guts and start beating the cheeks. So most men already know what the cheeks look like by the time he's even talking to the woman. So there's no mystery in dating anymore. It's like, okay, I know what I'm getting.
You know what you look like,
and I know what exactly.
Like,
I know what every inch of your body looks like. So it's less excitement, and it's just less it's just less discreetness for women, and that hurts them. But because the sexual liberation movement, they think that it actually helps them. And it helps you to get, you know, simps in your DMs and guys who want to fly you out and fuck you. But it doesn't help you get a relationship. So, you know, I really think that is a huge factor in dating nowadays.
And then before we move on to the next, I actually want to dive a little bit more into dating. So what do you think is the number one problem with dating today? And then my second question was what you just said about that'll get you fucked, but that's not gonna get you a relationship. What is the differences that a man looks at when it comes to fucking versus relationship too? Okay,
so the number one problem in dating is that women are passing up too many good men. If you look at the dating app statistics, women are only swiping on 5% of the guys, and most dating apps are like 90% men. So they're only swiping on a small percentage of guys, and they're overlooking the average man. So that is the main problem with dating, because a lot of people would be matched up. Also, women think that they have limitless options. Like something that I hear often from women: oh, there's 8 billion people in the world. There's 7 billion people in the world. Where are you? Well, are you gonna go to India and deal with one of them untouchable motherfuckers? Yeah, I think not. So the reality is, the most of the world that you know, most of people on planet Earth are impoverished. Okay, the only place where you can say, oh, well, there's a plethora of you know, successful men is in the United States, when in all actuality the average income is about $40,000 to $50,000 a year. So go outside of the United States, and then that average income drops significantly. So a lot of women say, oh, there's 7 billion men in the world, but you know, based off of the virtue of your standards, you disqualify at least damn near 6.5 billion of those men. So I mean, it's like a moot point. Because they're saying, oh, there's 7 billion people in the world. Well, for one, half of those are women. And then you're not accounting for homosexual men. You're also not accounting for men who are shorter than you. You're also not accounting for men who are ugly. You're also not accounting for men who don't have a bag. So once you start breaking down these different factors into what a woman sees as her, or deems as her dream man, the dating pool starts to get smaller and smaller. And now you back in the United States talking about, oh, well, now there's only 350 million people in the world.
And then the second part of that question is, you brought up that that'll get you fucked versus that'll get you a relationship. What's the differences that men look at versus fucking you versus being in a relationship with you? Okay, so when it comes to men, obviously, off rip, we want to fuck. So when we look at a woman, we want to smash. A lot of women try and act naive. And they try and act like, oh, I didn't know he wants to smash. They try and act like they don't know their male best friends want to smash. But the reason why men interact with women is to smash, okay? So that's not a flex. Okay, a lot of women think it's a flex. Oh, I can have any nigga. I can have any. Well, any nigga could have you is not a flex. Okay, you saying you could have any nigga is inferring that any nigga can have you, and that is not a flex. So, as a man, we are looking for a woman who is untouched, unscathed, a woman who doesn't have a tumultuous past, a woman who is going to be able to mend and mold to your program, a teachable woman, a coachable woman, a feminine woman. So
yeah, if you look good, you can get smashed, but you're not going to get a relationship if you're bringing those other qualities into that situation, which is, you know, sex sandwiches and silence.
And for this, do you talk about this on your own channel? Like, what do you talk about on your channel specifically?
Yeah, so I talk about all of these different topics on my channel. I try and cover as much as I can on IR dating, which is interracial dating. I cover, you know, guys going overseas and dealing with women outside of the West.
Passport
I also
problems.
cover how you can deal with women in the West. So, you know, I pretty much present all the options out there for men to choose from.
Okay.
And one of the most controversial topics that I speak about is interracial dating, which I am currently in an interracial relationship at the moment. So.
What do you mean? So a lot of people are going against that? Or
Yes.
what do you mean?
I find that a lot of black women heavily object to interracial relationships, especially when it comes to black men dating out.
Really?
They're fine with black women dating out. That's no problem. But once black men start dating out and start dating women of you know, outside the race, then it becomes an issue.
Damn, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
when it comes to this whole space, would you say that you won't call it red pill, you call it red vitamin? Do you have an actual problem with the red pill movement? Like, what is your number one issue with the red pill community, so to speak?
I would say like my main issue with the red pill community is maybe the infighting. I'm really not into like I'm into healthy debates and healthy discussions.
Yes.
But once once niggas go off the rail and start hurling out, spewing out, oh bitch ass nigga this and bitch ass nigga that, then that's when I'm kind of turned off by it. Yep. So I would say the infighting is a huge issue for me. I would also say the incongruency in lifestyle is an issue for me. So if you got a guy talking about how men want younger women, and then this guy is not dealing with younger women, then it's like, okay, how are you going to tell people how to deal with younger women when you ain't dealing with younger women?
Hey.
So I think that those are pretty much my main issues with the red vitamin. But as far as like the ideology, I definitely, or the praxology as they like to call it, I definitely rock with the ideas that come out and I guess the acknowledgments of intersexual dynamics. Yeah. I rock with that.
Okay, I got two more questions. What is the actual next for you when it comes to health, wealth, and relationships?
Okay, so what's next for me when it comes to health? I'm just trying to get stronger. Right now, I'm benching 425. I'm squatting like 565. And I'm power cleaning like 275. I'm trying to get to 315 power clean. Yeah. I'm trying to get an 8-pack instead of a 6-pack.
Hold on, you can change. Hold on, wait, what?
Yeah.
You can get an 8-pack if you like born with a 6-pack.
Yeah. So I got a 6-pack. I'm trying to get an 8-pack, and I'm trying to either add some abdominal muscles below my chest or like right above my groin area. So
hold on, and that's possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
You
just kind of have to do like focused workouts and obviously calorie deficits, dieting, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm working out on as far as health. As far as wealth, I am increasing my output when it comes to my business. So I really I had a really good month in January, where we did about what was it? So it was about $40,000 in assignment fees. Okay. For my real estate business. So I'm trying to stay consistent with that. So my goal is to make $40,000 a month in my real estate business. Okay. And we pretty much hit that goal last month, so I'm trying to just stay consistent with that. Okay. And as far as relationships, I'm in a relationship right now. Just trying to, stay in the relationship. Honestly,
trying to keep that shit going.
Yeah. I mean,
I got you.
Honestly, that's pretty much the easy part, because when you have a woman that really loves you, she's not going nowhere. So.
Okay, so hold on real quick. Mm-hmm. So you are about love in the relationships.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you wouldn't be against guys, being in relationships and being in love, etc.
No,
because I know a lot of people, they say any guys that's in this space of the red pill, we hate women, we don't want relationships, we don't want love, etc.
Yeah, no. So, in my relationship, we have genuine love. We're physically attracted to each other. We're mentally attracted to each other, and it just works. So, you know, I definitely believe in love. I definitely believe that the woman has to care more than the man. But I do think
I agree.
that, you know, love is very possible, especially once you equip yourself with this knowledge. You'll be able to better navigate the waters, because initially in that what they call the talking stage, that is going to be their make or break point. So me personally, if I'm going to deal with a woman, once I start talking to her, she needs to cut off every other man that she's talking to at that moment.
Ooh.
If she doesn't, then I could never consider her for a long-term relationship.
You asking this, or you want to see her do
I
it
want to
naturally?
see her do that. If she doesn't do that naturally, then I'll put a hint in there, and if she doesn't catch the hint, then it's OV. Then you're recreational use only. Because I shouldn't have to spell it out, just like you shouldn't have to spell it out to me. You shouldn't have to spell it out to me that I hold the door for you. You shouldn't have to spell it out to me that I pay for the date. You shouldn't have to spell it out to me that I lay the D down, right? Yeah. So I shouldn't have to spell it out to you to be a woman and not be a hoe and talking to multiple men at the same time.
Talk on it. Okay, now give me what is the fitness thing, and then shout out your Instagram.
Okay, so if you guys want to get in the best shapes of your life, make sure you go to my Instagram at Reclaim Your Throne and get on the hashtag Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course sponsored by Udemy. Okay, you guys can go to the links in my bio, get the course. It's going to change your life. It's going to put you in the best shape possible, and it's going to prepare you for all types of different scenarios throughout your fitness journey and throughout, you know, your cognitive journey, okay? Your mind development, your life development, your life skills is going to teach you discipline. And there's also some flexibility modules too. There's also recovery modules too. So we cover all of that. We just don't cover weightlifting. We cover flexibility. We cover recovery. We cover all that. So you're not gonna be like super sore if you go through the program and you do it the right way. You're gonna work out. You're gonna have your stretches before and after. You're gonna have your ice baths. You're gonna have your sauna, and you're going to be able to recover completely and be able to work the next day in order to continue throughout the course. And it is a 30-day course, like I said, over 2 hours of content for you guys to consume, me walking you through the modules step by step, workout by workout. There's about 6 workouts in each day. So, I mean, it's super extensive.
How much time in each day?
So the workouts are probably an hour 30 to 2 hours.
Okay.
And I mean, you could probably fit it in quicker than that if you minimize your rest time.
Gotcha.
But I usually give like 45-minute rest time between each rep.
Okay, cool. And then where can they find you?
So you can find me at Reclaim Your Throne on Instagram. You can find me at hashtag Reclaim Your Throne on YouTube. You can find me at Reclaim Your Throne on TikTok. And you can also check out my Clips channel on Instagram, Reclaim Your Clips. I also have a Clips channel on TikTok, which is Reclaim Your Clips. And also check me out on on Twitter, Reclaim Tweets. So
all right, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to get into the best shape of your life,
yes, sir.
Hey, hit him up. His Instagram will be in the description below. Thank you for coming out, and we out.
You already know.
Yes, sir.